Am I the asshole for leading him on? I 25F have a friend 25M that I've known for a while and hang out from time to time. He never made advances towards me or anything, we just go out to eat and enjoy our time. He is not my type at all. Yesterday we were hanging out and he said that we were on a date and I said I don't consider this a date cause we are only friends. He then just shook his head and said well I still consider this a date. When he dropped me off he asked for a kiss and I said no and walked off. He went out many times and said he considered each one a date and I said once again I don't consider it a date because we are friends. And he even told me he did not want a girlfriend. I like him as a friend and I do not find him attractive but now he's acting weird because I didn't kiss him. Now I feel bad because all this time he thought we were dating, and IDK had to tell them I only like him as a friend and do not consider him my type, attractive. Am I the asshole?
Not the asshole, however I would caution you to not continue hanging out alone with him. He sounds like he wants more than friendship and continuing to do so will continue to mislead him and may build resentment on his part which can be scary because you do not know how he may react when his resentment is at full capacity. If you value his friendship then talk with him and continue to hang out in a group setting.
Not the asshole esh. Greater than yes he was paying for all the meals. I do offer to pay and he declined. After reading more of OP's comments, changed judgment. Do not feel bad. He's being manipulative. If he wanted to date you he should have been upfront about it. If you're on a date, you both should know you're on a date. He's being ridiculous here. Not the asshole. A date is not a date unless you both are aware you're on one LMAO, and clearly he didn't inform you or confirm at all. Even if you were, you wouldn't owe him a kiss at the end of the night.
Not the asshole. It sounds like you clearly told him you're a friend and nothing more. You may have to cut him off if he keeps trying to tell you otherwise. Not the asshole. I can imagine how he might have been confused. He picks you up, takes you to dinner, and drops you off. That could be what happens on a date. Just tell him you're not interested in seeing him anymore. Same way you would break it off if you actually had been dating.
Not the asshole. A date is when two people go out to eat movies with the expectation that the event is for two people who are both considering a romantic connection. I have met up with female friends for meals who I had a crush on, but as friends. I later expressed an interest which was declined. 0 of these events were dates. Question. Was he paying for all of the meals?
Info. Did you tell him you didn't find him attractive at all? Not the asshole. This kid sounds like a major creep, entitled AF. If I were you, I'd stop interacting with him entirely. Good for you for being 100% honest and for not giving in to his pressure for intimacy. Not the asshole. He's trying to manipulate, coerce you into being his girlfriend. 1 or 2 dates might be accidentally perceived as hangouts, but after that he was probably intentionally not bringing it up so he could spring it on you once he felt comfortable. As for the paying, it was foolish to let him pay, but I understand he was insistent. As a woman, it's just common sense that if a guy insists on paying he might think it's a date, so you should have nipped it in the bud there. He was probably so insistent because if he paid he could call it a date, if you paid you could claim it wasn't. He wanted to use it against you to claim you've been dating all along. From what I'm seeing, there's no way he could have thought you thought it was a date and not given any tells. Either you were intentionally or naively overlooking them or he is trying to nice guy manipulate you. Either way, you're not the asshole. You shouldn't have to date someone you don't want to.
Not the asshole. The whole letting him pay for everything definitely enables his thoughts, behavior, and he thinks that it gives him the right to affection. Now this obviously isn't your fault, and it doesn't sound like you led him unnecessarily, but you certainly did enable him. Be clear with him that you aren't interested romantically, hopefully he will understand. But as some people also mentioned, be a little cautious because it sure sounds like he thinks you owe him something.
Not the asshole. It seems like honestly if he hadn't made a move before then it's only recently that he's decided he's into you like that and is saying it's been dates to make you feel bad about rejecting his advances.
No assholes here for whatever reason. There was a miscommunication or misunderstanding on both sides. You haven't mentioned what has led him to believe they're dates, but going on what you've told me I think my call makes sense. He didn't react too badly when you let him down, but let's be clear, he isn't your friend. He has confirmed that. He is a potential romantic partner. Tell him you aren't interested in him romantically and won't be, you only want to be friends. If that is unacceptable to him, then you don't talk to him again. Don't even bring up the misunderstanding around the dates. If he mentioned them, you just need to say, dates or not dates, let me be clear, you're a nice guy but I won't ever want to be more than friends with you.
Not the asshole. There is a reason he never asked, would you like to go on a date, and that is because he knew or suspected you'd say no. So he's opted for hanging out a bunch and then telling you afterwards that those were dates. Which you can't say no to, because you already went. This guy is manipulative and overall bad news. Do not trust any overtures of just friendship because they will not be sincere. I don't care how sorry he sounds.
The second time this happened should have been enough. You took advantage of him. He was clear that he thought these were dates. If you didn't want to go on dates with him, you shouldn't have gone out with him at all. The second time he wouldn't let you pay for your meal should have been the last time you went out with him.
Not the asshole. He is manipulative as hell, and sounds exactly like the sort of guy who only pretends to be friends with women in order to pressure them into a relationship. Throw him far, far away.
Not the asshole, and I want you to be really careful with this person. If he's considering them dates after you've clearly stated that they aren't and you're not comfortable with it, he could become dangerous. Please do not be alone with this person.
Not the asshole, that's gross. Honestly, I would distance from this person because that's just not okay.
NTA, but stop hanging out with him. Now that you know what the sees this as, if you continue you would be leading him on.
Not the asshole. You deal with him the same way you deal with any losing romantic hopeful. You ghost and block. Will you miss the friendship aspect you enjoyed with him? Yeah, probably, but you won't miss the pressure for a kiss or another date.